Okay, how to draw Cherry's eyes and eyebrows. Now, Cherry's eyes, they're very elvish like. They have like this oval shape to them, more like an egg shape. As I draw the shape, I then just darken in the upper and lower lashes there so that we can make the eyeball pop, yeah? So make sure the top half of the eyelashes are thicker as it's coming down towards the tip, and the same thing on the bottom as well. Let me just quickly add an eyebrow here just to show you the direction where the eyeball is placed. So as I darken out the eyelash, make sure it goes thinner towards the tip. I'm just drawing on top, building on top of it just to make it nice and thick to get the shape that I want, yeah? And the pupil and the iris in the middle are, it's quite big, the pupil. I add this like manga shape shine to the pupil there. So I really like that technique. So I use it a lot in my cherry drawings. And after I do that, just dark shade in basically the pupil, and then just add a few lashes here and there, and just build on top of it to form the shape that I want. Okay, now this is just a quick rough sketching out. Just like feel free to just sketch out there, make it nice and messy. That's how I love my things. Don't draw a circle. Okay, circles is not the shape, and even these type shapes that they use in comics, like superhero comics and stuff like that, they're nice, but they're not cherry. Cherry has this oval egg shape, elvish type shape. Okay, and it's always pointing slanted more diagonally up as well. That's the correct shape to try and focus on, yeah. And don't forget that manga shape, the shine there. I love that shine there. I do it all the time. And you just add in the lashes, and that's it. Okay. And this is just for a quick demonstration of it. I'm going to show you how to really draw it now from the side profile. So let me just quickly move all this out of the way, and let me just put it here on the right over here. There we go. Okay. Now, let me just quickly draw the basic a basic profile side view looking towards the left. Okay, this is not the average everyday basic shape for cherry. I'm just drawing an average, quickly sketching out, the side profile just to demonstrate how you draw the side view of the eye. Okay, I draw this diagonal line going up the upper lip through the nostril to the middle of the head and down from the forehead going to meet the other line. Okay, so form that triangle composition there, and that's where I estimate where to place her eyeball. Try to keep it not so close to the nose bridge. Yeah, a lot of people do that. I don't understand why, but try avoid that. Give it some distance from the bridge of the nose, yeah, and the forehead. Okay, to give it some realism. I know you exaggerate things in cartoons, but let's try and give some humanity to it. Now, in this, I'm going to draw a close-up of that so you can see how I draw the eye. It's basically a triangle shape, but try to avoid the straight line. In a second now, I'm gonna have to draw like curve the eyelashes a little bit to avoid that straight line. Yeah, so I'm giving it this little curve there. Okay, nicely done there. Okay, so that is give it what you need. Some curves. Curves are more beautiful in a picture than straight lines. And the same here as well with the bottom lip, the bottom eyelash. I try to curve it as much as possible, and the eyebrow is going to add it there just to give the expression there. But yeah, the try to avoid putting it so close to the bridge. Okay, this is actually quite close to the bridge, but try, that's the maximum distance you can go is this. Okay, to give the cherry look there. And I actually might demonstrate to you now how not to do it. Okay, so that's what you do basically to do the side profile. Now, if I'm gonna do what everyone else does, like I've seen people send me pictures of her and they ask me to correct it for them. This is what they do. That I'm trying to find a way to explain this to people, but if I can't do it by email or something, I need to explain it. Now, look here, okay? As I've drawn this basic profile, the diagonal line goes up and diagonally up as well there, okay? So we've got the lines there to estimate where to put everything. Now I'm placing her eye so close to her nose. Can you see that? Okay, it's so close to the nose and so close to the bridge and the forehead. It's wrong. Okay, it doesn't look right. She looks like little Miss Piggy here. Okay, so Um, try and avoid that. It might look cool if that's the character you want, but if you want to try and draw characters that look, the same style as Cherry, avoid this. This is wrong. Okay, let me show you a close up now. What people do, so you can get a better idea of this. Um, okay, so let's just quickly put everything into place here. Okay, the eyebrow here and the diagonal line up here, and now let me add in the eye. Look how big it is. Yeah, I know big eyes look cool, especially on pin-up characters, but when you put them so close to the nostrils, so close to the bridge of the eye, it looks wrong. It's so wrong, and the forehead curves out too much. A lot of people do this. All right, you're probably gonna do this whilst you're practicing for the first time by accident. So I want to make sure I point this out now, so when you start practicing, you will know automatically to avoid this. Okay, so I'm gonna delete this and actually try and correct it for you to show you what it should look like. Now that you see the mistake, this is what it should look like. Yeah, as the forehead comes down, okay, not curving in, comes down curved. Yeah, look how the distance between the nose looks now. Now this looks more realistic. Like I said, it's good to exaggerate your cartoons, your comics, your animation. That's the whole point of cartoons, yeah. But there's some things you need to leave alone. That's what I believe. That's my philosophy. So try to keep the distance there like that. But that's how you draw the eye, okay? It's really simple. It's like a triangle, but a curvy triangle. That's the best way I can actually say it. So keep a nice curved triangle. Use really take your time on the eyelashes to get the actual expression, depending on the situation, of course, of the scene that you're going to draw. This is the basic. Once you get used to drawing the eye, you won't need to do those lines, those triangular lines and stuff. You can draw an eyeball and estimate where you're going to do it like this. Okay, so I'm adding the eyelashes here, and with the bottom lashes too. So this will be your basic cherry eye from the side, yeah. And I'm going to demonstrate how you will open and close this eye depending on the situation. You're going to be hearing that a lot, by the way, the situation. And I'm not talking about the celebrity guy. Okay, so the situation is here that she's giving a normal glare at something, okay? I'm going to show you how it would look like when you really open it. Okay, this is the basic distance between the upper eyelid and the bottom eyelid. And if I was to open it even wider, okay, she's now noticing something, yeah, and it's either a good or a bad thing, God knows. Okay, it's going towards the shocked look now, yeah, whether she saw $1,000,000 in front of her or she saw Count Dracula in front of her, she's giving this shocked look. So her eye is going to start opening, okay, and if you notice, the eye is wider and the pupil and the iris is smaller, okay. The more shocked you get something or surprised, the pupil always goes smaller, okay. So use that. That gives the audience the idea that, okay, she has noticed something now. And the eyebrow is always curved, okay. When you curve it, it means it shows the shape of stretch, yeah. That her eyeballs are stretching now, and that's why we curve it there and do not give the basic eyebrow shape that you really curve it and exaggerate it. So if I'm going to go a step down now and go a little bit more close to closing her eye, it's the same process again. You just draw that triangular shape, you thicken the eyelashes and make sure it's nice and curved. The majority of the eyeball is hidden now, and the pupil is now starting to get bit hidden underneath the eyelid there. And you can use any eyebrow here for this expression. We're gonna be covering eyebrows a little bit later on, but that's how you combine them, though. Yeah, depending on the situation, again. Okay, it's how you're going to combine the eyebrow with the eyelids and the eyeballs. Okay, along with the pupil as well. Now this is the extreme look. We're really stretching it out now. Okay, now when you really exaggerate things, depending on the situation. Like Tex Avery used to do, he used to really exaggerate the expressions of his characters. The eyes would really pop like 3-4 meters forward. You can do this with Cherry as well, but not to that extent. It won't pop out of her head like 10 meters down the road or something. but it will expand as much as possible. I think this is the maximum it can expand, not too much. So this is the surprised look, or the shocked look, and this is what I usually do. I just play around with a shape, okay, with a shape. And this shape for this part of the tutorial is a circular triangular shape. And I just play around with the size of it, stretching it, closing it. And what will you do if you really crunch it up like that, you know, that angry look, or she's, you know, not impressed with something, you know, she's everything's squinching there, and her eyebrows coming down, giving, you know, the wrinkle on the towards the nose bridge, and like, yeah, that's how you do it. You just play around with that. Okay, but the main thing is that it's a triangular shape and it's all curved. Make sure you keep your lines curved, okay? Avoid straight lines. If you ever go and see famous cartoon movies, you know, famous Disney movies, Pixar movies, everything is beautiful and curved, you know? It's not that dead straight boring line, okay? Try and avoid that. Now, I'm gonna show you now how to draw her looking towards us, but diagonally, yeah? I try to avoid drawing her looking straight at us, okay? For a couple of reasons. Basically, when she looks straight at us, everything is symmetrical, and it changes the perspective look of her that you are all used to looking at. So it changes her face. But I will do it later on as well. But what we're going to do now is she's going to be looking straight at us, but more diagonally, okay? She's not looking entirely left, but she's not looking entirely in front of us. She's looking towards us, but to an angle. That's what I want to try to say. If you notice the left eye there, it's the same shape as the normal eye I've been showing you, but it's more squashed up a bit, yeah? Because it's more further back, it's going to be more squashed. And the eyebrows, actually I'll cover the eyebrows, how to do them on the side of the head a little bit later on. But for now, I want you to see the positioning. It's the same shape. It's an oval shape. It's that elvish shape that I used, of, you know, like an elf. But it's more squashed on the outer eye. On both heads here, the outer eyes are more squashed to give perspectiveness to the audience. Yeah. And the inner eye is the normal shape I just showed you before at the beginning of this tutorial. So this is what it would look like in a closer up. Okay. And all you do is just color in, just draw over the eyelashes there to thicken it out, and to make the eyes pop. I think an expression is all about the eyes. The eyes is amazing what they can do. You've seen characters that don't even have lips or don't even have noses, but their eyes tell you everything. So make sure your character that you design, or if you're just drawing Cherry here with me, try to practice drawing her eyes. It's very important. If you're drawing a close-up picture, let's say the whole screen was her face, then you can really put detail on the eyelashes, so you can show the audience every single lash there on her eye, okay? But like this now, it's quite at a distance, this eye here, yeah? So you can't really put too much detail or too much shading on her pupil and stuff like that. So, or even if she's like really far back in the distance, then you really can't put too much detail. You just draw the outline of the eyelash, and that's it. Okay, just make it thick around the eyeball, and that's how it will look like. But yeah, that's how you draw the eyes, from looking towards us but to an angle on the left. And it's exactly the same thing on the right. It's just the opposite, you know. But remember, it's both eyeballs are the same shape, but the outer eyeball is always, the eye shape is more squashed a bit, okay? So you can either do that, or you can, you know, do it. If you notice here, right, the eyelashes are poking towards the outer sides of the head. The left one's poking left, the right eyelash is poking right. Now, depending on where her eye pupil is looking, if you see now, I've drawn both eyelashes poking towards the left. That's because I'm going to make her look to the left, okay? So she's looking, both eyes are looking to the left. So that means her eyelash is going to follow her eyes. But I do not do this on both eyeballs, okay? I only do it on the eyeball that is on the inner side of the head, which in this case is the right one on our right, okay? Our right. That eyeball is the one I modify. So if she's looking on the left, then the the inner side of the one looking towards us is going to follow the eyelashes. That's the whole trick. The outer one always stays the same. I never change that. So if you understand that, try and follow your eye with your eyelashes. Try and follow them together. That's really cool. Okay, it really shows direction there. So practice that as well. You need to get used to that. Sometimes I forget, and I might have her looking left and her eyelash is still poking to the other side, but it still looks okay. Not many people really notice that, but this gives an extra touch to it. Right, what else can we show you here? Let's show you how she would look towards us now, yeah? So let me just quickly throw in these few lines here just to form the head shape. As you can see, I'm gonna draw like these contour lines, the basic cross shape to show you that she's looking towards us. If you notice the horizontal line is quite low, yeah? That's where under that is the nose and the lips. Above is where the eyes are, okay? Try and keep them as close to the same size shape as possible. If you noticed, I've got a space in the middle between the eyes. The space in between the eyes has to be the same width of an eyeball, okay? So if you draw 3 eyes, the middle eye should be the space between the 2 eyes, okay? That's the space. Now that is if she's looking towards us. If she's looking towards an angle like the ones we did just before, what I usually estimate with is the outer shape. If you look at the ones we did before, looking towards the left in an angle, the outer eye is usually the eye shape space between the 2 eyes, okay? Because it is at an angle, it's going to be more squashed, more perspective in there. But at an eyeball distance, this is like what it should be, in between, okay? So try and remember that. This is for beginners. If you're an artist, you just want to learn new techniques, then you should already know this. So the beginner guys, this is a cool tip for you lot. Remember this, okay? It's very important, otherwise you'll look out of proportion. There's many times I forget and I just rush into drawing and I might have the eyeballs a bit too far apart or a little bit too closer, but that's the good thing about erasers, yeah? You just delete it and redo it. Then you as I add the pupils into the eyeball here, I like giving it that that cross-eyed look. Okay, I put them like poking towards the middle towards the nose. Okay, I know that looks funny, but I like that. I think it's cute. So the cute things you get away with it when it comes to cartoons or pin-up art. Okay, because she's got that cheeky, that playful pin-up style to her. She gets away with it. Now, if she was some luscious, sensual lady like Marilyn Monroe or something, yeah, if she did that, it'll look funny. Yeah, it will look wrong. So, but on Cherry, she gets away with it because she's got that childishness inside of her. She's like a big baby. Okay, she likes being. That's her character. She likes being a nuisance. She's a curious person. She likes to do things, discover things, and that's her character. She's a very adventurous person. Okay, she's not your average lady. Okay, so yeah, she does look quite funny actually. Now that I look at it, but it's okay. That's the whole beauty about cartooning. Okay, you can practice and draw funny things. And now this is her actual basic eye shape, and this is like her happy or she's glaring at something, or if she's like enjoying or something that she's listening to or whatever, this is the eye shape I use. Is not fully open, like stretched open like the shocked and surprised one, but it's fairly open, and you can see her eye pupil there is really in the corner there, and it's nearly poking out of the eyeball there. That's how you draw the happy, glad, or that kind of eye shape, okay, the eye expression, depending on the situation. Anyway, so that's how you draw the Cherry's eyes looking towards us, okay, which I rarely do. I do it, but I rarely draw it. Okay, so that's that. Now, what can I show you now? How about maybe different types of expressions? Or how about the eyebrows now? Actually, let's draw the eyebrows. Different eyebrows. I only have like a few shapes that I use with cherry. I don't really like to go over the top with cherry because when you really do that, then you can easily destroy your personality there. So let's see what I can do from a side view. Oh god, this is a terrible example of a side view head, but anyway, you get the idea. Just a basic side view shape. And I can't take it. I gotta delete this. This is terrible. Okay, there we go. Let me just quickly curve that nicely there, and great. Put a neck in there as well. Okay, so Cherry's eyebrows. I usually use the straight one that you've seen me do many times on YouTube, and if you've seen my work in magazines or newspapers, I usually use this eyebrow shape. That's just looking towards the left. Doesn't actually really matter if you're looking towards the left, right, or angles or towards us. The shape is usually the same. And then you got this one here, and you got the curved one, which I showed you before on a shocked or really happy expression. You got the one I just used now, the basic one. And you also have the anger one, you know, when really pointing it down there. These are the basic eyebrow shapes I use all the time. Now you can experiment, add a few more there, but do not go over the top because eyebrows are not that amazing. They can't do like a million things. Okay, so yeah, just practice that. Now this is the head at an angle. Okay, so as I'm drawing her head at an angle, you'll see that the eyebrows are still versatile. I can still use them, the same shapes over and over again, no matter where she's looking. You can easily put them there, okay, and just adjust the size of them. That's it. If she's at an angle, then obviously, then if it's stretched, or if it's like, or if she's, let's say, in a distance, it's the same thing. If she's looking up or she's looking down, it's exactly the same thing. All you do is you just change the size of it. That's all. Okay. So these are the basic shapes that I use on looking at an angle towards us. If you notice, they're quite roughly the same. Okay. Just the difference is on the side. You obviously can see more. It's more thicker on the side if you notice in a mirror than if you look head on for some reason. I don't know why. The outer eyebrow though is different. I always curve it inwards and curve it around the edge of the shape of her skull, okay? So that if you can give the idea that yes, it does go around the eye, but it goes outside around the back of her head sort of thing. And it curves down or up no matter which way you're going, but it goes towards the bridge of the nose, okay? And this gives me after the idea of where the bridge of her nose is going to be. But I usually do a curved line like this, or a diagonally line going down towards the nose bridge, okay? But the bridge of the nose. But it all depends on the situation, okay? God, I hate saying that word situation, but I have to say it because it's all about the situation. That's what cartooning is all about. You have an idea. I don't want to say the word situation, but you have an idea and you need to express it to the audience, yeah? So to do that, you need to know where everything is going to be placed. Okay, how is the eyebrow going to be placed? Is it going to be curved? Is it going to be, if it's going to be angry? Is it going to be surprised? You know. So that's what you got to do. Just keep practicing. And now we're going to practice to draw different expressions of the eye and the eyebrows together. Okay. Now Cherry only has a few expressions. They're not that crazy. Like she ain't got millions of expressions. Although you can do. But these are the ones that I use. Happy, sad, shocked, sleepy, and sensual. And I might do one more actually. But anyway, sensual is basically you got your oval shape, your egg shape, Elvis shape, okay? And as you draw the eyelash going diagonally through the top parts of the eyeball, okay, and then tilting upwards, okay? So it's got this that Marilyn Monroe, the dreamy eye look, that stare, that glare, that sensual glare that she used to do, and many of the actresses and pin-up models in the 60s and in the 50s, they had this sensual look to them. And this is what they used to do with the pokey eyebrow going up. This is what Cherry would do. but she really does these things, okay? She does things by accident usually, okay? She tries to avoid being that lady, you know, the lady that everyone likes to view. Now, on a shocked version of her, which is actually one of my favorite expressions because it's so fun to do, and it's basically the same thing as her basic eye that I've been drawing so far. The only difference is that you're trying to stretch the eyelashes up so higher than normal, okay, and make the eye pupil smaller, okay, because that's what happens when you're shocked, as we said before. So that's what you do here, and you curve the eyebrow on top as well. So I think you guys know this one already. But that's what I usually do. I try to darken it as much as possible because the white part of your eyeball really shows up. Maybe that'll be better if it was in the middle, so you can get a better idea what this would look like. How about that? Can you see that? Actually, maybe a little bit smaller as well. Yeah, about there would do. Okay, so as you can see now, you can really notice that she is shocked. Yeah, so that's how you do that. Now, happy is very similar to this eye here. Okay, is actually that is happy. It's just a happy, you know, a glad look. Although I've explained it already, I could redo it for you again. You just draw the oval shape here, and you curve in the lashes here. Make sure you poke that little peak there to that little dot that I put there at the bottom of her eye is just to show that her eye has a slant to it. Yeah. It's really nice, and we all have that, okay, on our eyes. So why not cherry as well? And you just add your lashes, and then just slowly just add in, you know, the pupil as well, as I've done before. Now I know everything looks messy, but that's how it is when you're drawing quickly. And actually, this isn't quick for me. This is actually really slow. I'm trying to go as slow as possible here. I usually zoom in through these things, and that's how I draw really fast. But that's how you will draw as well once you get comfortable. And the eyebrows always curved as well, but you clean things up after when you start drawing your line art, and that's when you really start correcting your work and choosing the lines that are correct. And you'll see later on in the video when we're drawing our final piece. That's when we're going to be putting everything together. So now how about we draw the sad eye? Okay, now the sad eye, we all know what sad looks like. Yeah, when you're sad, everything's crinkled up, and that you know, when you just let go and all your tears come out and you can't help it and that stuff. It's the same thing here. You really wrinkle things up a bit. You cut through the eyeball and make things like how can I explain this? As you see the bottom, the pupil is underneath the eye here. The other way you can see half of it is if I close the eye. But here you might not get the idea that it's actually upset unless I add some wrinkles like this, okay? So now she looks upset with the eyebrow combined together. You really give that message to your audience, okay? They want to know what she's doing. You're letting them know that she's sad. And that's by adding wrinkles here and there. You cringe it up as much as possible, but don't overdo it. Keep it simple, okay? Even add tears if you want, but I like to keep my things simple because I think if you overdo things, then it's not right, okay? And that's how you do it. Add a few wrinkles there. That's upset. She's sad now. Okay, to draw sleepy eyes is very simple. We all know what sleepy looks like. When you wake up and your eyes are a mess, okay? You know, you look like a mess. So your half open eyes as well, or half shut. I don't know how you want to express that, but everything is half, okay, in this, okay. Everything just looks messy. Even the eyelashes are messy. Wrinkles here, creases there. Your eyebrows are like, oh, God knows, they're going everywhere, yeah. Your eye pupil is halfway under the lid and everything. Actually, maybe not there, but let me put it here. Better. That's better. You know, it's totally messed up. As if she's never had any sleep last night, and you know she can't help it. She's gonna fall over any minute now. That's what it looks like. Okay. Now try to keep it simple. I'm being serious about these things. Okay, simple and sweet. That's my motto. Maybe one more. How about maybe anger? Anger? Yeah, should we do anger? Okay, why not? Let's draw how to do an angry pose. Okay, so let's write this down. Angry. There we go. And angry is also quite easy to do. The same oval shape again. You got your evil eyebrows poking down like that, showing that she is not, she's not happy about something. Something's just happened, and she's really ticked off. Okay, and this time we diagonally bring it in now. Okay, just like we did the first, how we drew the eyes in the beginning of this tutorial, that triangular shape, and you put in you draw your basic shape there, and then add wrinkles everywhere. Bring it closer to the nose. Exaggerate the eye shape here. Make it really look angry. But that's what I do. This is how I draw my angry look. Now these are the slightest cases where I will exaggerate her eyes, like that. But for me, when I see that, that's not cherry. That's why I rarely do it. But it might happen. You never know. I might use it. So that's how we draw Cherry's eyes, the expressions. So let's recap there. We've learned how to draw the basic cherry shapes, eyelashes, different directions, different eyebrows.